The country appears to be getting more divided by the day when it comes to the question of should you get the COVID vaccine or not. Recently, our very own comedy hype analyst Pierre revealed that he had contracted the virus despite being fully vaccinated. Now, the CDC has made it known that if you've received your vaccine, that does not exclude you from getting the disease, but it does improve your chances if you are infected. Pierre received tons of support from his viral video, with several other comedians like D.L. Hughley reposting his message. Some would take issue with Pierre for suggesting that vaccinated people and unvaccinated people should be segregated. Today on the show, we have our comedy hype analysts, Capone, Vanessa Fraction, and Pierre on the show to talk about Pierre's experience. But first, let's take a look at this clip.
I'll take this time talking about this COVID thing, man, which I'm thinking is getting out of hand. Just let you know, I am vaccinated. I've been vaccinated since April, fully vaccinated since April. And I recently caught COVID. So I've been on the low. I didn't want anybody to know about it. Yeah, it was bad. I have underlying conditions. I have diabetes and one kidney. But I also knew that getting a shot didn't mean necessarily I was never going to get COVID. I'll be honest, I didn't think it was going to be as bad as I got. When I got it, I didn't think it was going to be that bad, but it was. But it wasn't bad enough to be on a ventilator, and it's not bad enough to be dead right now. So I'm going to chalk it up that the vaccine helped me save my life, or helped save my life. I think we should separate ourselves in the living of this world. We should separate ourselves. If you don't want to take COVID, you don't want to take a vaccine, that's fine. But I don't think you should mingle people who took the test.
Now, as I mentioned, there were some people that are, on both sides, but I think the consensus is we're glad to see, Pierre, that you're doing well and you're able to make it through that. So thank you for that. Capone, I want to come to you first. After seeing that video, what's your reaction to that?
Pierre is very, very, I empathize with some of the shit that he did say about having a kidney and being diabetic. But the separation shit was totally stupid. That's number one. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I'm just being real. The thing that he said that kills me about people is how quick we forget about God. You are sitting here talking about a vaccine saved you. If God wanted you dead, there ain't nothing in this world that can save you. You didn't give thanks to God that I'm here. You didn't be grateful to nothing but a vaccine. And you're trying to convince people to take the vaccine or stay the fuck away from each other. That is white people supremacy talk. White people talk that way. And they've been talking that way for years. And if I've never looked at you as a white racist, I look at you as a white racist right now, because you didn't even say, not even a white name. You gave the Pookies, you gave the tire man that's a black man, and everything that you could possibly do to degrade a black man, you did it, and you said it, and everybody heard it. And the fact that you're half white and half black, your white side took all over you just now.
I definitely appreciate your feedback. Vanessa, I want to come to you to get your thoughts on that. What was your reaction after seeing that video?
They were not as passionate as Capone's feelings, I will definitely say.
Passion is good.
Pierre, first off, yes, I am very glad that you got over that. I'm so glad that you're healthy, and I'm so glad that you were able to talk about it and continue to share your experience. I have been saying that you need to do what's best for you. And some people say it's, I'm not taking a specific side and I need to buckle down to one side or the other. But I think that's the issue, is that we're making it one side against another side, and it shouldn't be that. You have to do what you feel is best for your health. And for me, I thought taking the vaccination was, so I understood and agree with him on, it's going to better my chances. Not that I might not get it, but that it wouldn't be as severe. As far as the separation part, I felt like that was a bit much, and it gets a little dangerous when we get to completely separating. I think that it's a personal choice to separate myself, and you can make a personal choice to continue to wear your mask, whether you're vaccinated or not vaccinated, and to separate yourself and still go by COVID laws, because you don't know. People got fake vaccination cards out here. There's all kinds of things going on. So I think that you should just take, proper health. How the hell am I saying this? I've been drinking. Look, the basic, take the precautions that are good for your health, period. And that's a personal decision.
Right. Now, Pierre, I do have a couple questions, and I definitely want to give you the opportunity to expand on some of your thoughts. I know Capone had very strong thoughts. Is there anything that, you want to respond to Capone's thoughts on your video?
Yeah. Well, when you try to get, good stuff in the comments, you say what he just said. So, okay. the fact about God, mentioning God in it, God made me take the motherfucker, okay? God made me take it, okay? So we want to believe in God. So God saved me by saying, you take the medicine. God controls everything. So he made me take the medicine. So that's the first thing, throwing God up in there. Like, I don't have to take, like, because you don't take it, you're closer to God than someone who takes it. That's a wrong, okay? God made me take the medicine. All right, that's the first one. Pookie and Ray Ray. Pookie and Ray Ray, because Pookie and Ray Ray are the ones that are in my inbox, the ones that are always talking to me. That's who. Karen ain't talking to me. I don't talk to Karen. I don't talk to Billy, Bob, and Joe. So that's what the niggas that I talk to are the Ray Rays and the Pookie. Nigga, I ain't taking. So that's why I use the example of Ray Ray and Pookie talking about they want the black man. They want the black man. They trying to get our pills. I don't hear white folks talking about they're trying to get us. They're trying to get us. I hear the Ray Rays and the Pookie saying that. That's why I mentioned Ray Ray and Pookie. So you try to turn around and get the Ray Ray and Pookies to dislike me. I'm telling you the niggas that I hear. Okay, so you ain't in my inbox. You ain't in my ears. So if the Ray Rays and the Pookies are the ones that tell it to me, then I'm gonna talk about the Ray Rays and the Pookies that talk about they want the black man. Korean people ain't saying they want us. Mexican people ain't saying they want us. Italian people don't say they want to put a plug in our. It's niggas who are saying that. So now that one is for you there again. Now, let's talk about the vaccination and the separation. I recently found out being vaccinated might make you more susceptible to getting the corona again. Well, nigga, then I don't need you around me, nigga, to be more susceptible. Okay, for someone like that. So to get it, so those who aren't, I heard are highly more successful. I mean, the ones who aren't, who got vaccinated, I heard might be more susceptible to it, to getting it. Doesn't mean that means if you don't have it, you know, if you're not vaccinated, those people are going around spreading it too. So I'll take the chance with not being on the ventilator. It's about not receiving it. It's about after I receive it, will I live longer? Will I not be on the ventilator? Will I die? That's the concern.
Pierre, let me ask you this question, because so many people are, you know, they don't understand when you say like segregate. Do you understand why you're receiving some of that backlash and why some people may feel like, you know, that's a little too far left to say, hey, you know.
Sure, it's over the top, but we at the end of the day, I'm trying to live. If you over here, just like cigarette smoke, are we allowed to smoke in the studio? Are we allowed to smoke all around? No. So why do we separate us from that? Why do we separate us? Say, no, you can't bring that in here. Because you worry about your lungs. You worry about what your intake is. Why can't you just deal with it? People was around smokers years ago and smoked on a plane, restaurants, they dealt with smoking all around you. But sometimes someone said, you know what? This might not be right for me to ingest that. So if you're someone that pushes it out more, so okay, let's say the separation thing. If that's the only thing you worry about, then put yourselves together. Like you said, I don't have to be part of that if I feel like that's the situation. I see some of these games and some of these concerts, it'd be 100,000 people without no damn mask on, or wearing no mask. Some of them aren't vaccinated.
Now, Pierre,
I guess Vanessa, you're not to go to that concert. That's fine.
Vanessa, I saw your hand, so I want to make sure you get a chance to respond to that.
I just wanted to say quickly, I think that's why it might be important and why we keep talking about it. It's like everyone needs to still go under the same health guidelines, you know, still wear masks, still stay, you know, keep a congregation of people a bit smaller, still stay 6 feet apart. You know what I mean? I think that it's important for vaccinated and non-vaccinated people to still do it until the virus is curbed a bit more. And the same with his example about the smokers. It is a rule that in public, no, you can't smoke inside buildings and things like that, but it's still a personal choice if I decide to let someone smoke in my home, you know what I'm saying, or what have you. So I think the part that we all want is personal decision making, not to be taken from us.
Right. And Pierre, I want to come back to you. So in that segregation, just because I think a lot of people are talking about it, you know, we look in the comments, as you say, put it in the comments, and they definitely put it in the comments. So, you know, in that segregation, do you think that will really help vaccinated people stay alive? Because, you know, with the new variants that are coming out, they're saying like, even if you are vaccinated, you can still pass it as well as get it. So do you think the segregation, like what exactly do you think the segregation would do in that instance where whether you're vaccinated or unvaccinated, not only can you still get it, but you can also spread it?
Okay, so from what I'm studying, what I saw, vaccinated people don't die at the same rate as unvaccinated people. Let's get that straight. All the numbers I've seen, y'all can sit there and find the other one. The nurses and say those who are dying from the ventilator or who are dying from it are usually non-vaccinated people, exponentially a higher number. Okay, if death keeps being the number one thing we're talking about in it, people are going to be afraid. And if you're unvaccinated and you're dying, that number's going to always stay. Stores are going to be closed, places aren't going to be open as much, people are going to be fearful of each other if the number of deaths keep rising. because the only thing that's succeeded, just like when AIDS first came out, the fact that you could die from AIDS, it was horrible. People were like, I ain't touching this, don't cough around me, don't do all this. Until we got the medicine to bring it down, now we're not as afraid as they used to be of AIDS because they brought the number down of deaths. Well, we ain't bringing the number down of unvaccinated people. I mean, people are dying. So if I keep hearing death, and it's coming from the vaccinated, unvaccinated people, then it's going to scare society. Things are going to be closed. I ain't touching that. Why do we think we're still talking about it? What happened was we had the virus COVID hit first about a year and a half ago. People were afraid. People started wearing masks. The numbers went down. People felt good to go outside. We're back outside because the numbers went down. Now the numbers are shooting back up. Now folks are saying, I don't want to go inside. But you see what just happened? When the numbers go down, people feel comfortable. When the numbers go back up again, and people who put it up with deaths are the unvaccinated people. So as long as you keep hearing unvaccinated people, that most of them are dying. Majority of them. I'm tired of people saying, well, I got a cousin who's vaccinated, he died. If 20 people died and 18 of them are unvaccinated and 2 are, don't keep harping on the 2. Don't keep harping. We're going majority.
Right. Now, Capone, I haven't heard from you. Are there any thoughts or questions that you have?
Say it.
I'm just going to say fear. Fear is the way to control the world. And
True.
As long as they have us fearful and they have us at each other, they will completely have control. I don't know what numbers Pierre is talking about. They put up a number, we believe it. There is no goddamn research on nowhere of the exact amount of people that's dying and undying. There are cover-ups of people with vaccinated that are not dying. They've been covering that up for a minute. So there's no accurate number. We know that there's a COVID that has killed a lot of people. We know that hospitals have killed a lot of people. We know the doctors were getting paid, and these are facts. For each case of a person dying, they got paid for just to put COVID on the certificate.
I didn't know that.
Me either. I didn't know that either.
Of course y'all don't. I understand.
But
Don't hit me with the of course y'all don't.
Let me finish.
Okay.
It's okay that you didn't hear it. It's okay. Mm-hmm. You're hearing it now. So I'm also saying that there's a young lady that's on a video right now, a doctor who studied, who's a Black doctor, who said specifically that the virus, it was not designed to stop. It was a test. And now the test is not even working on the new COVID. It's not even working on the Delta. Did you hear that?
Yes.
Okay. So
no, but that,
right. It's okay. I'll send it to you so you can hear it. And it's being put out there and it's all over the place just to show you that when she says what she says, because she's a Black person and a doctor, some people make her discreditable. But when anybody else says, well, this is that and this is that, all of a sudden your numbers are accurate. I just believe, and you all have your own opinion. My thing is, if you want to take it, power to you. If you don't want to take it, power to you. The segregation shit, I'm not with that because that is the way that they have been trying to treat us before all of this COVID and every fucking thing else. They make us feel that as Black people, we ain't shit. And that's what they're doing now because even she said it, y'all are attacking us because I don't want my son who's a Black child to take this because I know personally what it will do to us. I know personally, that's what she said. And I'll send it to you, Vanessa, if you haven't seen it.
Yeah, I haven't seen a lot of things, so I do like to read. One of the things I read though, and I have a question for Pierre is that in Business Insider, there was an article about the long-term effects when you have COVID-19, and one of those severe effects was erectile dysfunction. And there were 2 men that recovered from COVID-19 that experienced severe erectile dysfunction. It was many months later. And eventually they were seeking penile implants and such. And the doctors who operated on them, they found virus particles in their penises. Have you found, or do you feel like there's any particles in your penis?
Damn, good question there.
I'm being serious.
No, I hear you.
And openly, have you felt anything that you feel like might be a long-term effect of having that virus?
No. I'll answer that real quick. But
Real quick, just to your a homie right there, real quick. You made it into a racial shit with the woman, with the black woman. Why black women? You gotta listen to black folks. The white doctors don't count for us. Come on, man. Now you turn into a racial situation. When the other, so I can't believe a white doctor because you're white. So let me find a black doctor who's on my side and send you that video so you'll feel good to show that so many black people, so many people died that were vaccinated, unvaccinated at a hospital. If I find a black guy who does that, then don't give me that. Oh, they put him up to it. Here, Uncle Tom, because it's not your narrative. So I'm not going to use the black and white all the time. Doctors are doctors. If I heard 1,000 doctors, I don't say, well, 2 of them black. I'm going to listen to them. The white ones don't hate me. I'm not going through all that. That's not, I don't live like that. That's not my mental racist mind. I heard what she said. They sent the video to me. And she said the same thing. That virus is not, the shot was not to save you, not make you get COVID. You can still get it. I always said that. So, okay, let me move on from that real quick.
Okay.
The penile thing, I don't think I have anything I felt like that. But let me tell you my experience of what I did feel. I went out to do a show in a city. I don't mention the city, but whatever. I went out to do a show, and it was cool. I was not sick. I had a friend that come to visit me and hang out with me. The owner of the club, we did our business. 2 days later, I get paid. We're in the booth, getting paid, whatever, little booth. And I go home. That was on a Sunday. I had a little cough. That Monday got a little worse. By Tuesday, it hit me. Headaches, my nasal started congestion, headache, back of my head, I got migraine. I started coughing. I knew something was wrong at that point. So whatever, from Friday, Saturday, then like I said, Sunday, Monday, got bad. By Tuesday, it was worse. But I had a show to do that weekend. I had decided to cancel that. I didn't want to take the chance. I went to get me 2 tests, a rapid test or whatever. Came back COVID positive on both of them. It's once it starts, it takes 2 or 3 days, and it's on and popping in. We're talking about to the point where I was coughing like a lung out. I mean, I was coughing like and shivering. I mean, fucking terrible. Your throat gets dry. Your nasal was stuffed up. So you got breathe through your mouth. That burns your throat. I had headaches, night sweats, trying to get comfortable in bed, taking a shower, putting a towel down. Then the loneliness of being isolated. People ain't gonna, people gonna drop by some food, Uber Eats or Instacart me. They would Instacart me food. Sat down, watched TV. Just the isolation can be terrible too. You know what I'm saying? We used to be around people. But the sickness was terrible. I did teas. I did all kind of stuff people gave me, man. I can't even think of sea moss. They would have, I went and went to the ER. They gave me one of those, what do you call those things?
Neti pot type of thing?
No, when an inhaler. Boom.
Oh,
inhaler.
yeah, okay.
Yeah, my bad. I had an inhaler. I had some other pills, I like to be a little natural, but, they gave me some pills. And it lasted about a solid 10 days. I mean, when in a bad situation, solid 10 days. Then gradually, you just start getting up and doing what you gotta do. And, I had to pee all the time because I'm drinking a lot of liquids trying to stay hydrated.
Pee out the particles. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, that's what it was. Yeah, and I would say about 10 days in, it was starting to get a little better. But it takes about, at least about another 7 days to, get back to the normal. You know what I'm saying? I have a minor cough, but they said that cough will stay around for a while. They said that's one of the things that lingers and stuff. It only happens every hour and a half, opposed to every 5 minutes, in succession. So I don't want no one to go through that, that I went through. That was a real deal COVID. I heard some people say, I have COVID. My nose hurt a little bit for 2 days, but I got over it. Or I got COVID, my headache. You get all those together, headache, your nasal passages, you coughing like crazy, night sweats, fevers, all that together, man, for 10 days, it's rough. It's rough,
Okay, you can smell and everything though, none of that,
Yeah, well, I lost the taste, the smell. Smell. It's funny. I went got McDonald's. I got McDonald's and a French fry. That thing tastes terrible. It already tastes terrible anyway. I'm gonna be honest with you. But yeah, not to have a sense of taste and smell was terrible. And I just wish, at the end of the day, I'm passionate about it for one reason. Do I know everything about it? No, I don't. I'm not a doctor or scientist. I don't want anybody to go through what I went through, or even worse. You know what I'm saying? If everyone get COVID and their nose stuffed up and they keep it moving, great. But where I was at for 10 days, I lost work. I was isolated. I was sick as hell. You know what I'm saying? I don't want nobody to go through that. And if y'all think it's cute, if you haven't been through those things, I ain't taking it. That's fine. But when your ass go through it, it's terrible. And God, thank God, as Capone said, thank God that he didn't put me on a respirator or dead to visit him now. You know what I'm saying? So thank God for that. And I don't want anybody to go through that. So whatever I can say. Now, the separation thing, okay, we don't have to separate. We don't want to separate, that's fine, whatever. But I just don't like people who, why are we're not the same mindset. You're right, Vanessa. Take care of yourself, do yourself, and be cognizant of yourself. But if I just don't want to be around people who I feel like are not being safe, especially wearing masks. Some people don't wear masks. So it's all right to be unvaccinated and not wear masks. Really? Y'all cool with that? In big crowds? Come on now. When it's still spreading, and if people say, I don't believe the numbers, but then you give me a number, a whole lot of people died in the hospital. Oh, how you know that? Who said what's a whole lot mean? Oh, those are numbers? You know what I'm saying? A whole lot of people. I heard many people died. But there are numbers. There are proof. And if you don't want to believe numbers, all right,
I
then.
have proof.
Where do we go from there?
Plenty of people have proof.
Yeah, and I think it just seems that's the consensus across the board. Like people just want, people to do what's best for them. And I think Capone hit the nail right on the head. If you choose to do what's best for you, that's your choice. And I think it's just a sense of respecting that. Just before we close out, Pierre, I touch an agreement. I am unvaccinated. And I did have COVID. I had COVID for 5 days. My symptoms weren't as worse as yours, but I did, I still had some pretty tough things that I experienced. So I understand I don't want anybody to experience that, but in that same tone and, in that same thought, I don't know about, I would say I want to be segregated from people because I don't think it's going to solve anything. If I'm saying hey, I just want everybody to live long and, not have to experience that, us segregating is not going to stop that because still people that are vaccinated can still get it as well as unvaccinated people and still spread it. So I think it's just a sense of, like you said, doing what's best for you, really doing the research, not just taking one video that you see or one article that you see, but really doing the research and putting in the time to figure out what's best for you and how you should move forward.
I agree with it. The guy who gave me COVID at the club, he died 10 days later. Died 10 days later. He had COVID, he was unvaxxed, and did not wear masks.
And I think we can sit and go case by case because every situation is going to be different for everybody. And I think
know that, but death is scary.
Yeah, it is.
It absolutely
is scary.
Go ahead, Vanessa.
No, I was just going to say every situation is different for everybody. And that's why you need to assess what's going to be best for you and not be afraid, because we've talked about fear a couple of times, but fear sometimes is taking a vaccination. Some people are afraid to take the vaccination when you know that you have pre-existing conditions or things that, like you said, Symphony, you were unvaccinated, but you assessed that, hey, I'm young, I'm pretty much healthy, blah, 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 blah. So if I do get it, I feel like I could recover. And you did. You know what I'm saying? The person that he's talking about, that 10 days later thing, that was the same with my daughter's father. 10 days later, he was dead, unvaccinated, that kind of thing. So you really do need to think about what are your personal health, where are you at health-wise and what's going to be best. And again, I think we all should be following the health guidelines and just staying back until we know more, because even the scientists don't know everything about it because it's new.
Absolutely.
But somebody might say, I don't want to wear a mask. I don't need to wear a mask.
Well, that's another conversation. I don't agree with
right.
that.
And Vanessa, I think
I'm going to wear my mask though. I'm going to wear my mask.
And I'm going to wear I'm going to wear my mask too. Vanessa, I appreciate that. I think that's a great way to close out because that's so much information in that. So thank you so much for that. And again, Pierre, we're so happy to hear that you're okay. Thank you for opening up and sharing that. I think a lot of people are going to get a lot out of this interview. As you say, put it in the comments, and I think there'll be a lot of conversation in the comments. So with that said, thank y'all so much for calling in. You heard from us. Now we want to hear from you down below in the comments. For Comedy Hype News, I'm Symphony Thompson.
Definitely put it in the comments. And I'll read some of these. If it starts off with Pierre, I'll read it.
Do you know the comedy culture? Play Comedy Hype, the game. Out now.